Hi, so this is obviously a very different video for my channel, very much not reaction based. And I rarely make these types of videos, kind of giving updates and my state, my feelings, where I'm at, potentially plans for the future. But I thought, why not? There were actually a few reasons why I decided to do this. One, because it's been on my mind since I want to say October of last year. There's some things we're gonna get to in depth in this video. I don't want to make it too long, too rambly. I want to try and be as concise and transparent as possible. Those are my two main aims in this video. I also was pretty inspired by Caitlin Benson's video, her most recent one. I'm sure you know who she is. She's a pretty big reactor, very entertaining, very much enjoy her content. But I did watch her video and felt a lot of similarities between her and myself. So that was partially the inspiration for this, along with just wanting to do it for some time now. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about the channel and my feelings on K-pop and all of that, and that was very insightful. And I was also motivated by that conversation to eventually come to the channel and just be transparent with all of you. So shout out to Michael as well for inspiring this. So we're going to start with, I want to say, just where I'm at currently, because I've mentioned this sporadically in different videos, but I kind of wanted to make this the video that people can reference, at least in more recent times. I suppose a video that people can reference, because I'm sure you can tell that, there were periods of my channel, especially 2020, 2020 and 2021 in particular, where my uploading was very sparse. And I'm gonna be just straight up. I think I was falling out of love with K-pop for some time, and partially because I think I was just living through a pandemic and entering my 20s, and I moved to a new country and I was starting university. There was just a lot happening that I just don't think I had the capacity for K-pop, because obviously, yes, you can choose how you engage in it, and that's obviously an individual choice. But I do very much like to get into albums and dance practices and variety content and performances, and well, not performances, but performances sometimes. So I like to engage in it pretty intensely, and that can be very tiring and very overwhelming. And I think I just didn't have it in me to honestly give that attention to K-pop. And I'm, again, in the name of transparency, I honestly think if it wasn't for Stray Kids, I probably would not have continued to like K-pop, to listen to K-pop. I credit Stray Kids for kind of keeping me tethered to the genre, to be completely honest. Like, they were the group that I was the most I would say, if I were to choose, I would say they're the group I was the most consistent with keeping up with. Like, I was there for, Skits Code, the albums, the comeback. Like, I was there with Stray Kids, and I don't think I was really like that with any other group. I also, last year, I will also give credit to 17. I mean, they became one of my alts. So I had a lot of falling in love, or maybe realizing I was in love with 17 as well. So I'd also give them credit. But I honestly, especially during the most rough years, I would give it to Stray Kids. And I've slowly but surely been rediscovering this love for K-pop, especially towards the end of 2022. I was like getting back into it. And although I'm like super duper duper behind on many groups, I'm not intimidated with catching up with them. I'm actually quite excited, and I've realized that some of my favorite videos to film are the catch-ups. Like, I like being like, okay, what has Twice done, or what has NCT 127 been doing, or what has Red Velvet been doing. I think it's actually quite enjoyable. There's an enjoyment I find in catching up. Like, yeah, sometimes I'll kick myself and be like, oh, why didn't you listen to this sooner? But honestly, more often than not, I tend to enjoy it more than not enjoy it when it comes to the catch up. So I don't mind them. They're sometimes intimidating, but I'm more excited than intimidated to, catch up with groups. So that's just feelings wise where I've been with K-pop, kind of where my channel has been as well while I've been going through those feelings. And obviously I'm still continuing on with my studies this year, and they'll always be more of a priority to me, but I want to continue on being consistent, because I've been pretty doing pretty well lately. If I were to give myself a pat on the back, I would say I've been doing pretty well. And again, this is something I do for fun. This channel is very much for my own enjoyment. I've been posting for what, 5 years now. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Or going on 5 years this year. That's insane to me. And I do this for fun. I do this because of my love slash like for K-pop, for various groups, for various artists. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that love that I had fostered for those artists over the years. And I guess that love just needed a little bit of rekindling. You know, it happens. Sometimes you need to work on rekindling the love. It happens in every aspect of life, I guess. And I've been rediscovering it. And it's just been really fun, actually. I'm starting to remember why I enjoyed posting so much and why I enjoyed K-pop so much. So that's been honestly a very pleasant experience lately. And I think I kind of needed it because 2020 was so bad for me. It was very much not a good year for me. And here's hoping that 2023 is significantly better. And as well, onto more future plans, or future slash current slash in the motion plans for the channel. I'm sure you can tell there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's definitely changes that have happened. Like I've changed my banner, I've changed my display picture, also just gone about and changed some stuff behind the scenes as well in my settings and whatnot. And I just wanted it to be a bit more current because I made that banner, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. It's very simple. My present one is also very simple, but I do like it more. Like the aesthetics of it a little bit more, as minimal as it is. Also wanted a more like current display image of myself. And onto further discussions. As I said earlier, this is obviously a hobby of mine. I don't do this as a career. I don't know if I ever will. I mean, I'm not a huge channel, so I don't see it for me, but who knows, things be happening all the time. But it's very much for fun, a hobby and whatnot. But that being said, I do want to work on the quality of the content I put out and the frequency at which I put it out. I think frequency wise, I've been doing pretty well. Like I think I post pretty regularly, quite a bit of content actually, so I'm not too worried about that. But I would like to improve the quality because I don't think it's awful for something as I do as for a hobby. It's not awful, but I would like it to be better. So that being said, and I want to preface this disclaimer, it's even written in my description box. I want to preface this disclaimer by saying, or preface this information by saying, I do not want to be entitled. I'm not entitled to people's money or monetary support. I don't want people to feel pressured into it. I don't feel like, they have to. And I know how annoying I watch YouTube too. I know how annoying it can sometimes get for people to be plugging things, and I'm going to avoid that as much as possible. Like I'll do it probably towards the end of my videos, to be completely honest. And especially as I get into what exactly I'm talking about, there's obviously certain, what's the what word am I looking for right now? There's certain things on my end that I have to fulfill because I agreed to fulfill them. So, but I don't want to make it intrusive. Like I don't want to take away from the content. I don't want to take away from your engaging with the content because I know how off-putting it can be to have someone plugging something or overly plugging something. So I want to keep that minimal. But I do get the need to plug, the necessity to plug, but I do think I'm probably going to keep it towards the end of my videos and the end of my reactions, just so it's not super intrusive. But what I'm getting towards is that I made a Ko-fi account, which is a way you can support me monetarily. And this is one of the things I've been thinking about as well in more recent months. And I was considering making a Patreon, but I do like the structure and the way Ko-fi works a lot more. It's a lot more chilled. I don't know, there's something about Patreon that feels a little bit too rigid for me that I'm not a big fan of. And I think that's one reason I've been kind of hesitant to potentially make one. But with a Ko-fi one, I have tiers set up, and I also have, it's tips or, buying me a coffee as well. That's also set up because I don't want people to feel, in general, no pressure. If you can't, you can't. If you watch videos, subscribe, comment, that is enough support, honestly. Not to be a YouTube person, but that genuinely is enough, and it does more than you know for the channel. It is all the support I can really ask for. But this is more so for the people who are able to, who want to support me in that way monetarily, just letting them know that there is an option and there are goals specifically related to the channel that I've set up with my Kofi app and whatnot. And there's more information there. It's linked in my description. You can check it out for yourself and see if that's something you'd be interested in supporting. But there's also an option that's not, I like to call it there's no strings attached, which is just tipping. Like if you're just like, oh, I want to give Christine $1 or 5 or 3 or 2 or 10 or 25, I don't know, go crazy, it's your money. There's also that. But I did also set up tiers for people who want kind of more commitment, I guess, towards what their money is going for. And there's various ones. I think there's 4 that I set up. I did a lot of admin stuff today, side note, so my brain's a little bit fried, so excuse me. But I think there's 4 that I set up, if I'm not wrong, which is just support, early access, exclusive content, and then exclusive requests. And those are the different tiers, they're different prices. And again, if you are able to, if you're comfortable supporting me that way, I would genuinely appreciate it. Not gonna front, I would genuinely appreciate it. But if you are unable to, don't worry, things are not going anywhere. I'm not just suddenly gonna put dance practices behind a paywall. All the content that I've been regularly posting here is going to continue to be regularly posted on my YouTube channel. My Ko-fi account is more so just extra. It's very much just extra. So if you like extra content from me, if you just want to support me, if both go crazy, the option exists now. And yeah, I'm very optimistic. I'm feeling quite hopeful. I was a little nervous filming this video, but in terms of just how I'm feeling about my YouTube channel and moving forward and just 2023 in general, I'm feeling very optimistic, not gonna lie. I feeling good right now. Hope this energy persists throughout the rest of the year, but currently I'm feeling quite optimistic, quite in good spirits lately. Hope you all are too. And this was just a little catch up on where I am, plans, what we're gonna do moving forward, switching up the aesthetics of the channel, so to speak. Maybe it'll switch up again. I think I'm content with how it looks right now. If I'm not wrong, I think I'm pretty satisfied with how everything looks. And I didn't want to make this too long or too rambly. Hopefully you'll edit out any not great parts or parts of me trying to gather my words. You see, can't speak. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.